Hi there, in this video we're going to take a look at the verb moeten. And you might be like, well, moeten, that's to must, right? I must do it. For example, ik moet het doen. I must do it. Yes, it is, but it's a tricky verb in Dutch. And there are 4 ways in which the verb moeten confuses the students who are studying Dutch. And the first one is related to have to. When you're saying, I have to do it, you'll be like, okay, have to, then we'll have to use hebben, and what else? Well, no. Have to is moeten. So, I have to do it is ik moet het doen. So that's a little bit tricky. So don't use the hebben. Also, Spanish-speaking students or Portuguese-speaking students might be tempted to use tengo que or tenho de in Spanish or Portuguese. No, use moeten. So that's a little bit confusing. And the second way in which moeten is confusing is related to this have to, because have to is with to. Some students put te at the end. For example, ik moet werken, they would put a te in between the moet and the werken. But that is wrong. You only have to do ik moet werken. So no te, drop the te. One exception, just to make it a little more complicated, you can say ik heb iets te doen. And you might think, I have something to do, but it means more in a way that I have something to be busy with. So it's not entirely I have to do something. It's more to say, well, something is ongoing with me. I'm doing something. Not I must do something. So that's a little tricky one. There, ik heb iets te doen. I have to do something. No, I am busy with something. All right. Third thing, which is a bit confusing, is the past tense. The past tense of moeten is moest and moesten. So, I had to go to the hospital, or well, I must, there's no past tense. So I had to, I musted, doesn't exist. So you would translate it as ik moest naar het ziekenhuis gaan. And why is it a bit confusing? Because you think, well, moest, so must is in the present tense, but moest is in the past tense with the S. And yeah, that's why some students are like, and some students have difficulties putting that as there, just to use the past tense. And the last way in which moeten is a little confusing is the verb to need. And to need can be translated in 2 ways. The first one is nodig hebben. And it is always used with hebben, so that means to have a need, but it means in English to need. And that is used with things. So if you need something or someone, then you will use nodig hebben, as in ik heb een auto nodig. I need a car. Alright, but the second translation, and you already know it because this is a video about moeten, so we're going to use moeten. And when do you use need to with moeten? When a verb is following the need to. For example, I need to find a car. Ik moet een auto vinden. So, if there's a verb there, I need to find the verb, the thing just behind need to is a verb. Well, then you'll have to use moeten. not with nodig hebben. No, nodig hebben is for objects. For example, I need a car, language classes, a camera, anything, and need to. So the to there indicates that there's a verb coming. So if it's with to, then you would use moeten. Alright, I hope it solves some confusions, and I hope from now on you're going to use the verb moeten. And don't forget to subscribe to this amazing videos to have more of these videos. Tot ziens!